This is the 2 p.m. hour on a Wednesday, and as always, we're here to help you make sense of the business world. Welcome to Talking Figures. If you listen very carefully, of course, you could decipher that those are Rivers people talking about free Wi-Fi, talking about that experience and wishing to have it again. And why are they having a conversation at this time? You guessed right, yes, the high cost of internet and the realities for businesses. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, the 5th in the month of March, and yes, the last month in the first quarter of the year. What other time can we talk about the internet cost and the surprises that's come with it this new year and what it's done to businesses? High cost of internet and the impact on businesses. Yes, that's a conversation. And when we look at what has happened, NLC's planning strike and boycotting and a lot of ups and downs, and no telecom communication company is left out in the blame or in the bad experience people have been having, right? The question now is the high cost of internet slowing down the growth of digital business in Nigeria? Is it? What's your own experience? Are you a regular online, and what has changed for you? Do you still go online, or do you now maybe you shuttle it? My name is Choma Izenwaf, and yes, I'm your host. I'm Talking Figures, and today we're going to have a conversation I believe will help you and your business at this time. And we're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. So share your thoughts with me. The question is really simple. How is the high cost of internet affecting you and your business? And yes, you can share those messages as well on X. That's the former Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. And we're on WhatsApp as well. You can drop your messages there. 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. I guess we'll open the phone lines at some point, but first, let's meet our guests. I have two guests in the studio. People who understand the business of this thing called internet. I don't know if there's any other people who consume data and internet who need it. I don't know if their business will exist without internet. Yes, I have two people in the studio, a male and a female. One is a digital marketing professional. Yes, Mr. Henshaw Jacobson serves as the founder of Click Media, a digital marketing and PR agency that handles media campaigns for progressive brands in Nigeria. Yes, he joins me now. Thank you, Henshaw, for making time to be here with me.
Thank you so much for having me, ma.
Okay, Choma is my name. Choma here, not Ma. Thank you. I also have Karina. Karina, could you please introduce yourself fully for me?
Okay. Good afternoon, Chioma. My name is Karina Yudiwe. I'm a digital content creator, a blogger.
Okay, so if you've ever heard the real bottom pot gist in Rivers State, and they gist you and tell you they did this, they did that, know that it's Karina that brought it out. They like gist. Anyways, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for making time and agreeing to be here with me.
You're welcome.
All right, so now we're talking data. How often do you buy it, and what is it that you've experienced trying to run your business, especially if you have your business online? But first, let's do our tradition. On the show, Henshaw and Karina, we get to first of all go to the world of business, pick out 2-3 top stories in the world of business, and then you tell me your thoughts. Trust me, I will not embarrass you online. These are things that you can easily relate with, and you can quickly tell me what you think about it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Now we call this segment Market Watch. Let's go watch the market. And the very first story here talks about NAFDAQ. And in Port Harcourt, they've caught a man called Anthony Chidi. At the Mile 3 market, he was caught producing fake alcoholic beverages in highly unsanitary conditions. And they interrogated him, and he said he's been doing it for the past 1 year. So they found him with dirty, empty bottles, ethanol, bottle caps, and packaging materials. And he uses it for these illegal operation, NAFDAQ says. And of course, if you've been following NAFDAQ activities, you know they've been doing this for a while. In fact, at some point, over how many shops were closed down in Onitsha, shops were closed down in Aba. It's been an ongoing operation.
Even in Anambra.
Yes, in Onitsha, yes. So when you see that they've come to Port Harcourt and these bottles have been going out for the past 1 year, what do you think that does to people who do business, let's say restaurants, bars? What comes to your mind?
Okay, first of all, when we see people packing bottles, we are just looking at it from a recycling, trying to recycle the bottle, not knowing that using it for crime. So for that, this has been going on, and if you notice, many people are having kidney failures right now, a lot of health issues, and that can be linked to alcohol, and which is they've even been news recently that most of the drinks in Nigeria are fake. So but for people should go ahead and drink. So when it's come to alcohol, I cannot tell somebody.
Let's just call it drinks. Let's not call it alcohol. Let's just say drinks. Because I mean, even the one we give our children to take to school could be fake.
It's true. Could be fake.
And so for me, when I thought about businesses who buy these things, and then for regular consumers, how will people know? Because apparently they put in a lot of effort, right, to make sure you do not even find out. So for you, Karina, what do you think about this story when you saw it?
Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I hear things like this is the production. How does the production go? Because I'm also very concerned about how they package these things. And you know, most of the drinks that are going out there are actually expired drinks. And if I'm to go get any of this drink, the first thing I always want to do is to check the expiry date.
But then, the same NAFDAC caught a shop where they clean these things.
Yes.
And put another one.
That's why I say I always look out for the production. If it doesn't really look well, like packaged or something, I don't think I want to. I even prefer to just drink my water.
Drink water, right? So we can all just go drink water.
Yeah.
So what will happen to restaurant businesses?
But I'm also thinking that the producers of this original drink should come up with a campaign to educate people so that we'll be able to identify, to know this is the difference between the fake and original. Because at this point, we might not even know which one is real or which one is fake. So I think they should come up with a campaign to kind of educate people, maybe to rebrand and say, okay, this is how you identify the fake one. This is how to know that this is original. Maybe come up with a code. I've seen some brand where they have like a code where you need to maybe use something to scan or to verify that it's original, especially for in the pharmaceutical industry. So I think something like that can help, because for now, someone like me, I might not know. Just like Karina said, I prefer to drink water.
Okay, now that's it's very concerning, because now if more and more people drink water, what will happen to it's a business show, right? So let's talk about the business side of this thing. It's really going to impact businesses, but then businesses also, like you said, I agree with you, that they have to now come up with campaigns that will help educate their consumers.
Exactly.
Okay, to know what it is that they should look out for to make sure they are buying the right one. But yes, it's definitely a concern, and kudos to NAFTA, and they've really sustained this campaign, and we really hope that it means something at the long run. Now let's go to the next story before we go on a quick break. The story of the basketballs going on in the polity. If you do not know, you should know that last Friday, two Supreme Court judgments came out that changed the way we do things in River State. Starting with the River State House of Assembly. We've had them in twos before, and now the Supreme Court apparently appears to have recognized one. And also, the local government chairmen have had to leave. The court sacked them, and heads of administrations are now in charge. A whole lot at the top and at the bottom. But from the business angle, how do you see this affecting how people do business? You know, the volatile is something, we see the story say tension, pressure, tension. But when you think about business, what do you think?
This one is a serious one, because I was coming from Abuja to Port Harcourt that Friday evening, and then my flight was cancelled, and then I tried to get another flight. I was pricing 250. Before I knew, the guy received a call and was telling me 350, and one other person that was coming from Port Harcourt had to pay over 600k to get to Port Harcourt. Wow. And I did not know what happened until Saturday morning that I got to know, because of the Supreme Court pronouncement, and that so many people were coming to Port Harcourt, and then because of politics they had to cancel some flight just for some person to fly. So this has affected not just we, even them born children and their destinies. So this is a whole lot. I'm telling you. See, imagine, let's say a pregnant woman or something, you had a serious emergency, maybe health issue, you wanted to fly back to Port Harcourt. So this is a whole lot, seriously. So it's affecting everybody, it's affecting everything. So some business that already had plans, they want to do this, and maybe they waited for this and for this. So it's a whole lot. Like only that flight alone, how I got to Port Harcourt is a miracle. I don't want to begin to talk about that. So it's affecting a whole lot of things right now in Rivers State. And with the fight going on, I just think that I don't see this thing benefiting us. So we are not gaining anything. So whoever wins,
us now, meaning business community.
Business community. There's nothing for us. There's no, our interest is not being considered. So they are not considering how it is going to affect the economy, the business that is supposed to go on, stopping this. There's nothing for us. So I really do not know how this is going to, how long this will continue. If maybe after this week everything will return to normal, we'll be happy.
Okay, Karina, quick thoughts now on this.
And just like he said, it's actually halting a lot of things. And aside from that, it's also changing plans of a lot of people, especially for business people. You know, when you put something in place and you say, okay, this is how you want things to work out, and then you now hear a judgment from the government, you now have to start looking for a plan B. So in situations like this, I think if you're in River States, you should be having a plan B and probably a plan C and plan D.
Okay, interesting. Let's go on a quick break. Now, when we return, we get into the very topic that we are here for. We call it Insider Tips. That means it's the end of Market Watch. Time for Insider Tips, where we talk the high cost of internet and what it's doing to businesses. Stay tuned. It's Talking Figures on 92.3 Nigeria Info. And yes, we're here with digital business experts, digital marketing professionals. We're here with a blogger, and they have a lot to share when it comes to what it's doing to their business and how they're navigating it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Right here, 92.3 Nigeria Info, Talking Figures, and we just finished Market Watch when we looked at the top stories in the world of business and even issues outside business, what it's impacted businesses. And so now it's time for Insider Tips, and here we're looking at the high cost of the internet, especially for businesses, online businesses, digital businesses. How are they coping? How are they navigating it? And how are they ensuring that there's still profit despite the cost of data, despite the cost of the internet? I have my guests, they're still here in the studio. I have Karina, she's a blogger, and I also have Mr. Henshaw Jacobson. He's a digital marketing professional and the founder of Click Media. And I just want to begin with the very first. I shared earlier what Nigerians are saying about because one of I think the River State government is perhaps the only institute that came close to sharing free Wi-Fi. And I always say this, that when I went to Washington, D.C., I didn't have to buy data because for every building I entered, there was free Wi-Fi. I didn't want to change my number and I didn't buy data. For each time I enter a building, there was data for me to use. So the concern is whether you want to push out your information on the public Wi-Fi, right? But whether you had access to internet, it was not a problem. Why can we not have it here? The closest we saw of it was done by the Rivers State government. I think it was last year or so. And so we asked our reporter to go back. That was in town, Port Harcourt town, to go back and see if it's still there, if it's still being enjoyed by Rivers people. And they said, and this is what the people told our reporter.
There's nothing like free Wi-Fi network. There's nothing like Uber free Wi-Fi network or Uber free Wi-Fi network there. It's just other random Wi-Fi network with their security password there.
All this Wi-Fi wey dey here, all this ones wey you see here now, other companies get that wey be say if you want take connect now, the Wi-Fi go need passcode. But this one wey dey say na GovSim, we no dey see am. Make dey make am spread everywhere. The way data take cost now, we need the data. We need free Wi-Fi to use. Make it spread around the whole River State. No be only certain areas e go dey. Even the students areas, students need am.
Students need it says. Students need data. But then we're looking at businesses now. If everyone is lamenting the high cost of data and wishing the free Wi-Fi will come back again, how much more for business people? So let's start with you now, Henshaw. What has it been like for you when it comes to data and your business?
So first of all, oil has been the main thing in Nigeria over the years, but with internet, I can say we have more young millionaires in Nigeria. Internet has given birth to more young millionaires in Nigeria than any other sector. So young people now doing content creation, leveraging digital platform to build their brands and then revenue and all of that. So with this now, is going to affect a whole lot of people, because someone like me now, internet
is affecting or is going to
it's affecting a lot of people. Some person might just say, okay, let's see if maybe something will happen. So it might not like be immediate. For someone like me, I'm still trying to see. But then again, I'm looking at a whole lot of people. Apart from businesses, people, education, Digitak is a big deal in Nigeria. For someone like me, 99% of the things that I know, I learn them online. So I have to take online courses. I have to do YouTube. I have to do a whole lot. So it's affecting a whole lot of people. So for businesses now, I don't know, because it's going to affect even the cost of goods again. People might have to increase the cost of their product and the cost of their service, because they need to add the data money into it. So just expect maybe things that you were buying before 20 naira, now maybe they might add 5 naira to it so that they can meet up with data. So it's going to affect a whole lot of people. I think maybe that's the only way business people can just survive. Increasing the cost of their production, in cost of their products, or maybe the cost of their service so that they can meet up. But then apart from that, many people might need to spend less time on platforms like Instagram, which is a data consuming platform.
Is that what you're seeing at the moment? What are you experiencing at the moment? Because it's been high for a while. It was increased by 50% about last month.
Yeah.
So what have you experienced when you see and you relate to other business people promoting brands? What have you experienced? How has it affected you and your business?
For me, I just know that because I cannot do without internet.
Yeah.
Yes, I cannot. You see, when I came to the studio, I was using my other network. I have to switch to my feed to get it work. I cannot do without it. So I have no option. Let me put it that way. But I'm thinking more about other people that are all these Instagram vendors and every time. Even because before now they were complaining why I don't do more of Instagram. I don't have data. I don't have more data. So now it's going to affect a lot more people. Are just going to stay back.
Because you buy a little amount, before you know it is over. No matter how much data you buy, somehow
it can never be enough.
Yes. So let's have your take now, Karina. When you look at the reality of the high cost of business,
It's
for internet rather.
First of all, it's very, very sad, because most of us, we have to deal with international clients, and when you start telling this international client that you're having a slow network, you're having poor this, poor that, it now looks like maybe you're not serious, and because they are not in the country to experience this, it becomes a problem. So it's now kind of slowing down the business growth. It's also making it look like, okay, this person is not serious for the business. Because if you keep telling these clients I mean, they've paid you, they've given you all the necessary funds. If you keep telling them that, oh, this is not working out, they'll feel like, okay, if that's the case, then we'll have to switch. And so this has been a very big problem. Now, this is not even a thing of buying the data. The network can be very slow. Most of us have to use like 3 networks. We have this, that, and that. And at the end of the day, you find yourself spending even more. Just like you said, you now have to increase your costs. Because once you increase your cost, it means you have to subscribe to all your platforms. And then if this one is not working, you have to switch. So at the end of the day, you find yourself budgeting for a very high cost. And it's really, really, really affecting. It's like a very serious problem. Because every day, if you go on the internet, they're always calling out one mobile network or another network. And it's very, very embarrassing.
I have one that currently I try to buy airtime of 7,000 naira. Till now, they have not given me. Each time I try to make call, they tell me to borrow data. I have paid for data. Give me my data.
My own,
or rather, net to airtime now, not data. Okay, let's stay with data. But it's I think it cuts across for everyone.
Yes, my own experience is you can actually be browsing, and the next thing it just goes off, no service. As if yesterday I even had to complain. Is it that a cable went off or something? It just goes off, and there's no message from this mobile network that sorry, this is what is going to happen. It's not like it's a routine, and it's now like it's a teamwork from all the platforms. That's how it's looking like.
Okay, so we spoke to an NCT expert. His name is Isaiah Etuk earlier. And a reporter, a correspondent, Ifechukwu Moyele, was the person that had this conversation with him. And he's actually saying that federal government and state government can introduce free Wi-Fi to help with this situation.
Yes.
Let's listen to him now and what he had to say. Let's see.
Sustainability is key. Look at history. How much of sustenance that we have in some initiative that government have done. Government can do a lot. In fact, this government actually can do a lot because I think they have a lot more brighter people in this government. But does that align with the direction of the government? The increase in data subscription is a function of government policy. So I'm not sure. Government might want to do it, but will they? In a nutshell, then it's doable. It's just a decision because it's capital intensive.
Capital intensive, he says. And then he goes on to talk about partnering with private companies to make it happen. Let's also hear him.
Individuals code, I build the house, I put free Wi-Fi. And sometimes even the landlord add it into their rent. They say, I have free Wi-Fi, it's an incentive. Come and rent a house. I give you free Wi-Fi. It's cheaper, right? It's cheaper in the context of that environment. So, it's next to nothing.
What do you think? Henshaw.
That's extra value for the real estate people. That's making a lot of sense. Like landlord introducing data as extra value to their houses that they are selling. See that?
But is it sustainable? That part where is it sustainable? Because even hotels give free Wi-Fi, but how often are you able to use their Wi-Fi to do Zoom calls or Zoom meetings?
And someone like me, I don't even appreciate public Wi-Fi to start with. I don't appreciate it.
That's something to hide, isn't it?
Not exactly. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. So even if it's free, I might not use it.
Well, Nigerians, we love free things, and we will love free Wi-Fi. Oh, please, give it to us. Karina, what do you think?
I actually don't like the free Wi-Fi thing too.
Why? What's wrong with free Wi-Fi?
There's a disadvantage to it. There's a disadvantage there's a disadvantage to it. That's one of the major things.
So you're not advising people to get.
No, for the public that's fine.
It's good for the public.
But for business,
for me, I might have access to, because we manage digital assets, digital platform, which might not be mine. So I will not go and expose myself to risks that will not just affect me for other people's businesses.
Okay.
So for other people, that's fine.
But
they can use it.
Like you said, sustainability. Can they sustain it? That's another thing. When you introduce these things, it's always very interesting and it's exciting.
Yes.
But we cannot deny the fact that there are challenges in setting these things up. So if at the long run you cannot maintain it, how do you sustain it? That's also another thing.
Okay, now let's talk about engagement. Do you think this high cost of internet has caused lower engagement because people are cutting back on internet use?
Yeah, first of all, it's also going to affect customer care. That's the area I'm thinking about it more right now. Before now, you send some businesses maybe a WhatsApp message or Instagram message. They take time to reply. So now that might increase. Maybe send somebody a message, to reply after 2 days because you don't have data.
They
don't open their WhatsApp, they don't open their Instagram, and they are missing business opportunity to do transactions. So customer service is going to be affected a whole lot, because normally for people that we work with, they expect that you reply your message as soon as possible. It shouldn't be more than, let's say, 20-30 minutes, but now it's going to be longer. So that's a whole lot of things that we expecting. Like I said, maybe people are going to look for a way to increase their costs, maybe look for another thing to look at for how do we also manage this data, because some person ignorantly increasing their data usage. There are some person that, for example, they have a WhatsApp and they just do auto download. So whatever, maybe even if you are sending them 1 gig file, it's just automatically downloading. So some person really need to learn the simple tips on how to manage their data. So that's another angle I think we need also to look at.
Okay, which other one can you share?
Okay, so you can also disable your background apps. So not like you just have all your apps on. Even for me for distraction, I don't receive notification on all the platforms. So even on my WhatsApp message, it's only when I open my WhatsApp message that I can see a message. If you send a message to me, because I turn it off, so disable all your background data, disable all your app data, and then also disable auto download, and then disable notification. So that also helps you, apart from just managing data, helps you to remain focused. So I don't like the fact that maybe my phone is on and my data is on, everything is all cling everywhere. So it helps me to stay focused, and also help them to manage data. So disabling all those apps and then disabling all the auto download will help to a very large extent.
Anyone you want to add, Karina?
I think you should just have a budget when it comes to data. Like you should, put off things that are not necessary. Or maybe you can also set like a timer on your phone, like you have this particular amount you want to use, because there are settings for that. If you can do that, you can be very conscious. So at the end of the day, you don't keep shouting, where is my money going to? Where is all these things? It's very,
like I do, right?
Yeah, you just have to be very conscious. Like me, I have like a plan. Once I've exhausted that plan, I'll be like, okay, I think that's it for today. Every other thing we can extend it.
And then what if you have important business? What if you have an important business? What are you saying?
Yes, if it's very important, then we'll just have to, change things. But if I'm just saying this based on people who are not doing our kind of jobs, you understand? I'm just saying it for people. If you're always shouting and complaining that my data is always going for this, then you just have to limit certain apps.
And another thing is that people should learn to be more productive with their data.
Yes,
many people just use data to just scroll and not do anything. So we begin to think, how can you convert your data usage into something more productive, something that can bring more money to you. If you have money, I don't think you complain more. So I think people need to learn digital skill that they can do still on social media. It can be there are people that are spending time on Facebook. They are not posting, they are not commenting, they are managing pages for people. They are doing social media management, they are doing content creation, which you can even do beside your job that they are doing. So I think people should also be more creative and productive in their data usage without just scrolling and then watching funny videos, entertainment and everything, and then also dragging people and fighting and getting into political argument, especially in Rivers State currently.
Okay, so let's open the phone lines at this time. Yes, if you're listening to us, I have two digital business people in the studio on today's Talking Figures, and yes, we're looking at the high cost of internet and how it's impacted businesses. They've shared a lot already, and it's time for you to share yours with us. What's been your experience? How much do you spend on internet every month? Let's say every month. And then if you do a daily plan, how much do you spend on internet every month? And are you satisfied with the services that you get? And then do you think the government should come in at this point and help? Tell me, I would love to hear from you now. The phone lines are open at this point, 0817-923-0002. You can also call 0817-923-0003. Yes, what do you think? WhatsApp number, you can send your messages. Please do not call the number, just WhatsApp messages, 0809-030-6416. How much do you spend on data every month? And are you satisfied with the telecom services you've been getting in recent times? What's your thoughts? If you're a business owner or you own an online business, or you run it for someone, what's been your experience? Are you able, and what adjustments have you had to do? Too many questions, right? Basically, join the conversation. Yes, join the conversation. And I start with WhatsApp now. I have messages here on WhatsApp, and I see one from Joe. Joe sent this in from Rumodara. Okay, he's talking about the conversation we had earlier about NAFDAC. He says, "Good afternoon, Choma, and your guests in the studio. They both said they will rather drink water instead of wines and beverages. You all forget that the adulterations are across from fufu through pure water to whatever has its origin in Nigeria. It's that bad," he says. "It's high time the federal government came up with policy statement on adulteration. For Nigerians are being killed slowly," he says. That's Joe sent that in from Brumodara. Thank you, Joe, for your message. And although we are done with enough that conversation, your points are duly noted. I have another one here from, you didn't say your name? Okay, Adebayo Ibrahim. He says, "Good afternoon, presenter. Please, they should extend this operation to paint sellers. There are many rebrand fake paint in the market." Interesting. Fake paint. Unfortunately, that NAFDAC deals with food and packaged goods. So for paints, that should be SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria. Yeah. And I hope they are listening to that one. I have another message here from Clinton. Mr. Fresh sent in this one. He says, "Good afternoon, Choma. I don't use data that much. I subscribe only 3,000 naira for the month. I activated data saving mode on my phone. Thank you for your message." And yes, the phone lines are still open, and I would like to know how much you spend on data every month. If you're a business owner, how much has the high cost of internet affected your business? The phone lines are open, 0817 923 0002. You can also call 0817 923 0003. Yes, we're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH, and also on X at Nigeria Info PH. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What is it that's going on right now? What is going on right now when it comes to how you're trying to navigate, the cost of internet? What's new that you've done? The guests in the studio have shared a couple of what you can actually use and how you can help yourself at a time like this. On Facebook, I have Ozo Francis. He says he's watching from Amagunza in Enugu State. Thank you. Yes, thank you. He says keep up the good work. Thank you, Ozo, for your message. And I would love to read more messages. How much do you spend on data every single month? I would love to know. If you run a business online, if you're planning to take your business online, what are you budgeting? And do you think the government should step in at this point? Anyways, we also spoke to an expert earlier, and he gave an alternative. And is recommending that digital creatives who are frustrated by constant network disruptions in their businesses should switch from using mobile data to broadband routers. Let's hear him.
The regular data use. Number one, the data lasts longer than the regular data you subscribe on your mobile data, and the network is more stable than the one you have on your mobile data. So I think because of the network calling and all that's interfering with the connectivity of the internet on the mobile phone, that's why it's unstable. But for the broadband, it has no issue with call. Even the SIM card is not a call SIM card. It's used for that particular broadband. So I would advise and recommend, if you are doing stuff online and you do not need interruption, you should get the broadband router so that you can enjoy your internet connectivity. It's actually cheaper to use the broadband than to use your mobile data. You will spend more money with your mobile data because for some reason I do not know, the mobile data gets exhausted too fast and too quick. It's better you get the broadband and subscribe. For example, if I do 8,000 naira for my broadband, I get 40 gigabytes, and that 40 gigabytes usually lasts me for a month and even more than a month, just that I need to roll over when it expires. But if I spend 8,000 on my mobile data, it does not carry me for 2 weeks.
Okay, so that right there is an IT expert sharing for digital creatives and those who do businesses online, and he's recommending broadband routers. What do you think?
That might not work for everybody, because for someone like me, I travel a lot, so
you have to move.
I have to move around.
So you need mobile data.
I need mobile data.
Mobile.
So for us, we have that. We still have the one that we carry along. We still have the one on our phone. So we are using all of them. But just depending on that alone, for someone like me, it might not work. I don't know about Karina.
Karina, what do you think?
Also wouldn't work. It wouldn't work because we're always moving. So it's not going to work.
I'm more like a digital nomad, so I move a lot.
Okay, let's go to WhatsApp now. I have a message here. Woyike says, I spend over 15,000 naira worth of data every single month. But it's quite unfortunate that doesn't last, he says, to the end of the month. That is one question a lot of people want to understand. That you subscribe for something that's supposed to last you a month, and then it doesn't end up lasting a month. Okay, now let's continue Woyike's message. He says the government need to monitor the service providers to ensure that that we are not exploited without enjoying what we subscribe for. We already have a regulatory agency. The NCC is a regulatory agency for all of this. And they are the ones that supported the increase in tariff. And they say the key reason why tariff was increased for telecoms was for business sustainability. But then the other side of the services that are rendered and the quality of service, we do not see a lot of activities around ensuring that these telecom companies give quality.
Just like Karina was saying, many times you're on a Zoom call with somebody maybe outside the country, and then let's say you're embarrassed because the person now, I cannot hear you, can you hear me? Like more than 6 times. Exactly. You're like, which village this guy is calling from? So, and you even be embarrassed to say that you're calling from Nigeria. So if they also increase this and then they give us good quality, just like one, I don't want to mention them, which everybody that has money is going for, that would make sense. But not just to increase, because most time they will increase the price and then the quality still remain the same, or sometimes even worse. So if they can increase the quality, maybe that might be a good reason for say, okay, let's do. But then again, for people who are not doing that kind of business, I would say, okay, try to make money from your data. Just like that person, you cannot spend 15,000 naira a month on data and then you're not making any money. So in as much as whether you're spending, there are people that are spending 100k and above on data monthly, but they make money. So if you have money, you might not complain much, but just spending money to subscribe data every month and you're not making anything, that is not very economical for me. It doesn't make economic sense to me.
Karina, what do you think?
Well, everything boils down to the government. I think at this point, because this is something that it's now every day people are always complaining about it. And since we are working, most of us Nigerians, like when it comes to using the internet, Nigerians, we use it a lot for different reasons, even if most of them is not for the right reasons, but we have people using the internet for different reasons. So if they can call the service providers, sit them down and ask them what the challenges are, I think they can start from there, because this is now more like a teamwork. Like as I said earlier, it's like a teamwork, and they are very comfortable about it. They don't even say anything about it. It goes off and it can come up anytime. And it's very embarrassing. So imagine them describing us as the giants of Africa, and you now tell your clients outside that my network has gone off. It's now they will just change the word. They'll ask us to change that word. We shouldn't describe ourselves in that thing, because everybody looks up to Nigeria in things like this when it comes to the internet content and everything. So
I sorry, continue.
I feel like they should call the service providers together and see how they can manage the situation. Let's put it that way.
Okay, and before we wrap up, let's read this message from WhatsApp. We have one from Sandy, and she says, I work remotely and I was spending 9k every month before the price increased, and I now spend 12k. That's 12,000 naira monthly on the internet subscription. And I like the final I like the suggestion you reiterated, which is make sure you're making money. You're spending all of that on data every month. Let it not be like NEPA. like we call it, aka electricity tariff, where you have to pay, and you should make sure you're making money.
Exactly.
Right? So that's actually our parting words. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Henshaw.
Thank you.
And Karina, thank you for making it.
Thank you, Choma.
And yes, I leave it to you. If you are in business, please make sure that you maximize all of this. Find opportunities in them. We had experts that we shared their thoughts on played their voice to share their thoughts. And broadband, just explore all of them. Like Henshaw in the studio said, bring in all of them and use all, especially if you're an online business owner. Okay, so that's it really for us here on Talking Figures. Thank you so much for being a part of it. My name is Choma Ezenwa. For Talking Figures comes your way every Wednesday by 2 p.m. And we'll have a message for you after now. And after that, the news will be up at 3. And then we have Hard Facts. I'm Chinedu will be here to take you on that. Stay tuned. You have a good time coming.
Years ago